Okay, oh my god, it's been ages since I filmed. I had a vision with this angle. I'm not sure if it's working out the way I hope to, but this is what we're gonna deal with for this video. So, it's been ages since I filmed, but it's the last of February and I thought, hey, why not do another March reset? I am starting to realize that they work for me, or at least it makes me get through some of the things I need to get done, and it's also a good video because I can accumulate a bunch of things in it. Welcome to my March reset. I don't know where I'm at with anything really, specifically my reading and booktubing. I've been away also. I was in London, had the most amazing of times with my friends, and we got back yesterday. Today I've been to the office, but now I actually need to unpack. In this March reset, my plan would be to fix some things around the apartment. I don't necessarily need to clean this time because I haven't been here and I cleaned before I left, but I need to unpack. And I also thought I would haul a couple of things for you. I bought some books while I was in London and I purchased some other things as well, so I might as well show you. I need to do some journaling, so we're gonna sit by my desk, do some journaling, gonna backfill a couple of pages, plan for the upcoming month, things like that, perhaps a monthly review, some goal setting, and I will also share my tentative TBR for March. As you may have noticed, I haven't really been reading that much, but I still have a tentative TBR for March. I have books I guess I need to read or should read. I will also low-key participate in the tropeical readathon as it is tradition for me. March will be an incredibly busy month as well, since I will be traveling a lot for various conferences. So that's gonna be interesting, a lot of fun. I'm super excited, but it's gonna be an interesting month. Okay, I'm gonna unpack, and while I unpack and sort my things, I will be watching the latest episode of Love is Blind. Before we get to that, I could just haul a couple of things. I bought some tea! Of course. I bought some tea for me and also some tea that my friends requested. So I got those for them, if you can see. And then for myself, I actually picked up the Darling Grey. I'm really not a tea person. I drink black tea, I drink Earl Greys, and I like some lemon in mine. So I thought that this one sounded quite appealing. And I also picked up from Fortnum & Mason the black tea with peach. Oh, and this one. My friend bought this for me. This is a tea strainer. Whee! It's cute, right? I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea in this. Let's get to cleaning and let's start some Love is Blind. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm trying to keep things interesting with the angles. I made myself a cup of tea, of my new tea, so I will let it steep for a couple of minutes and then I will taste it. Not gonna lie, it was a struggle figuring out my new tea strainer. I thought I would show you some of the books I've hauled while I was in London. So we went to a few bookstores, me and my friends. I had a couple of stores I really wanted to get to, so the first one we went to was Foyles. And I actually really liked that one. Amongst the ones we went to, it's up in my top 2, I would say. I really liked Foyles. It had a great selection, great display of books. I did not purchase any books there, although I loved browsing there. The second bookstore we visited during our trip was the Big Waterstones at Piccadilly. I didn't like it as much as the Foyles one. The third book I visited was actually a Waterstones in Canterbury, when we went to Canterbury. And at that one I actually picked up 2 books. So the first one I saw that I have been eyeing before and have been thinking about getting at some point was Dante's Inferno. I love this cover, this red one. Didn't know that it was really told like in cantos or whatever that is. I really don't know much about this one, other than that it's a part of the Divine Comedy by Dante. And what convinced me to get this one is that it matched so well with another book that I decided to pick up. Because since we were in Canterbury, at that Waterstones they had a whole table dedicated to the Canterbury Tales, of course. And I thought that, oh, how fitting to purchase the Canterbury Tales while in Canterbury. So I picked up this edition of it. It's a retelling by Peter Ackroyd. The original story, novel, script is by Geoffrey Chaucer. It has attempted to modernize the language, which I think will be good for me. Okay, another thing that convinced me, it has some great weight to it, even though it's quite thin, or it's not a huge book, and it has a wonderful flop, okay? Do you see this? A wonderful flop. Are you with me? Yeah. Beautiful, right? This is what we want. This type of flop is what we want. I thought that, hey, how fitting to get Canterbury Tales while in Canterbury, and then I put these 2 books together and they looked amazing together, so that's why I picked up them both. Another fun thing while we were in Canterbury was that we went to the cathedral and I bought a bookmark at the shop. So now when I read my Canterbury Tales, I'm gonna have my Canterbury bookmark and it's all gonna look wonderful. On our second to last day, we went to Hatchard's and Daunt Books. I loved Hatchard's, okay? It was beyond my expectations, honestly. I loved the interior, I loved the vibe of it, and I actually found a book there that I've been looking for in all of the other bookstores, because this is an edition of a book that is getting replaced or whatever. So the book I picked up is The Appeal by Janice Hallett. I read The Alperton Angels by Janice Hallett last year, really enjoyed it and have decided to continue to read her books. But the thing is that this one is, I believe, getting like rebranded, or it has a new cover. I'll insert it. And it looks awful and I don't like it. I wanted it with this cover, haven't been able to spot it anywhere, neither on like Amazon, any of the online stores, anywhere. And when I've been browsing bookstores, I've only seen all of the other books. I never saw this one until we walked into Hatchard's, where I saw 2 editions of this particular edition. I instantly grabbed it because I knew it was a rare find, I guess, even though it's like, it's this honestly random crime novel contemporary fun time. I'm very excited about this one, and you can obviously see, as always, there's like a color scheme with the books I picked up, okay? Like, we see the red, we see the white, we see the detailing. Loved Hatchard's, and then the final bookstore we went to was Daunt Books. I really loved their concept of sorting their books by country, but it makes it quite difficult when you're looking for particular genres. It's great if you are looking for something from a specific country, or if you perhaps are looking for travel books or similar. That's a random talk about some books I purchased while I was in London and the bookstores I visited and what I thought of them. Very happy with this, and now I shall get to some journaling. Hi! We're at the desk, which I realize now is looking like a whole mess. Ignore this part, okay? No need to see this. I also see that my camera is currently dying. That's no good. But I thought that I would quickly just introduce something new to you, something more I hauled, and that is this fountain pen. So I picked up this Kaweco Sport fountain pen at a stationery shop called Choosing and Keeping, close to Covent Garden, I believe. I got it in burgundy, and I also added this gold clip to it, and I also got the converter so that I can actually fill it with ink. But yeah, I thought it would be like a nice little treat to myself to have this fountain pen on the go, and hopefully encourage me to journal on the go. I've been eyeing this one for quite a few years actually, ever since I started to get into fountain pens. It's a twist cap, didn't know that, now you know too if you didn't. So you twist it and then just plop it, and there we have it. Gorgeous, right? So this I bought, as I was telling you, and now we're gonna journal a bit. I want to backfill the pages that I was away. So I did do some writing on the plane home, but there are a couple of empty pages that I want to fill with memories from the trip. We have the ticket for when we went to Canterbury Cathedral, so I thought I could put that one in. I have also the return ticket for when we went on the train. Normally the machine takes the ticket, but I think one of the machines didn't work or something, so I got to keep it. And then here is a random bar receipt from when we had drinks. Thought I would put those into the journal and backfill it, and also plan for March, because we're entering a new month tomorrow. The February monthly spread is done, or we're past that. So now I should prep March's monthly spread and hopefully attempt to decorate it a bit as well. So yeah, I'm gonna zoom you in and we're gonna work on this. I can also use my phone memo and attempt to print some things, like the posters for the musical that we went to. That would be awesome. Let's see that one, and then we also Okay, I feel like everything is messy and everything is crooked, but we're gonna flow with it. So I've sort of made a layout for May. I'll be traveling a bit. I have a bunch of like various courses, workshops, learning events, things like that. I'm going to one concert. It's finally Formula 1 season. I have like a hair appointment. I booked myself a nail appointment. That's exciting. I never do my nails. A bunch of things happening. Also, Easter is at the end of the month. But what should I do goal-wise? So previous month I tried, this month, February, I attempted to set up some goals. How did I do with those? I wanted to teach myself a new song on the piano. Nope, failed with that. Although I did print some sheet music. Read 5 books. I read 3 books. So I actually failed with that one as well. And then finally get a new certificate. This one I did do. It took me 2 attempts, but I did finally get this certificate. What should then my goals for the new month be. I still want to attempt to read 5 books, I think. If I can hit 5 books for 1 month, it's gonna feel easier to hit that for every month. Videos. I perhaps should have a video goal. It's gonna be difficult, but I'm gonna attempt to do it. Publish 5 videos. I'm gonna continue to wrap this up, but I have been doing well with my bag filling. Very happy that I saved some scraps at least. And then updated the new month spread. So I'll get back to you with a TBR in just a sec. Okay, wow, I really haven't sat down like this in front of the camera for ages. But we're at the TBR part of this video, and I believe the final part. So I thought I would share my very tentative TBR for March with you all and just bake this all together into one big epic video. In March I'm gonna attempt to keep up with my year-long challenges that I have been attempting to keep up with various degrees of success. And on top of that I'm also joining the Tropical Readathon as per tradition, because I always participate in that one, whether it's high key or low key and whether I'm all in it or not. But I signed up for Team Fantasy, so I'm actually very excited about hopefully squeezing in some fantasy reads this time. Here's the thing though, I will be traveling quite a lot in March. I don't really plan on bringing a lot of physical reads with me for every travel, but I do hope to do some reading on my e-reader, my Kobo, and I might bring like 1 or 2 books per trip, maybe, something like that. It's all tentative, we're gonna see what happens. I have no freaking clue, honestly. But let's just talk through the year-long challenges and what I'm considering reading for the Tropical Readathon. I'm not gonna go through and present options for all of the prompts. I'm just gonna focus on a couple, and we will see where those books I read end up by the end of the month. Let's start by talking about the Tropical Readathon. As I mentioned, I will be joining Team Fantasy, but one thing with the Tropical Readathon is even though you belong to a team, you are allowed to read any team book. And I actually spotted a team book that I own, so I thought that hey, perfect opportunity to read that. It should hopefully also be a quick read. For the team book, I plan on reading Nothing Burns as Bright as You by Ashley Woodfolk. And this is, I believe, the team book for Team Contemporary Litfic Historical. I think that's the complete team name. I have the ARC edition of it. I don't know if it will differ much from the published edition, but I have the ARC edition of it, and it's actually told in, what's it called now again? Verse, I believe is the name. Hopefully it should be a quick read. I've had this on my shelf for a while. It would be great to read it, so I saw this opportunity now and I'm taking it. Then for Team Fantasy, there are 2 team-specific prompts. The first one is to read a urban fantasy. This required a bit of thinking for me, but I then came up with one that I believe is gonna work perfectly. For the prompt of reading an urban fantasy, I plan on reading This Savage Song by Wee Schwab. This is one of the few now Wee Schwab books that I still have not yet read. There are a couple more, but I have not read this series. This is a young adult series by Wee Schwab, and I believe it focuses on music. It's about Kate and August, and they are the heirs to a divided city. All Kate wants is to be as ruthless as her father, who lets the monsters roam free and makes the inhabitants pay for his protection. August just wants to be human, as good-hearted as his own father. But his curse is to be what the humans fear. It takes place in a city. It makes it an urban fantasy. I think that's the definition. The second team-specific prompt is to read a book featuring the powerful artifact trope. I dug deep and hard for this one, but I could only come up with 1 book. So the one option that I do have, if I feel up for it, is The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. Am I ready to start this journey? I don't know, if I'm being honest. This book is about destroying the ruling ring of power. The ruling ring being our powerful artifact in regards of this prompt. 400 pages of small text. I don't know, perhaps this will be the perfect airplane read. Maybe it's what I'm meant to do. I'm not certain yet. I will keep you posted if I actually get to this one. But this is my option. And then we have the common prompts. These are prompts for everyone with typical tropes. So I'm just gonna throw out a couple of ones that I'm considering and how I think I will fit them to the prompts. So there's one about reading a book featuring absent or dead parent prompt. For this one I have another quite obvious choice. I do feel like I'm finally ready to pick up my Harry Potter journey again. I read the first 3 books in 2020, I then took a break from the books, didn't really feel the need to continue with it, but I still own the entire box set. I would still love to read them all. I have never read them before, except for the first 3 now, but I did not read them when I was younger. I've seen the movies, I do love the movies. I feel like I'm ready to continue. So the next one I would pick up is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This dude has dead parents. Works great. Another prompt is the hand-picked crew, but the wonderful thing with the Tropical Readathon is they allow you alternative prompts, meaning that if you don't find a book with a trope, there's an alternative prompt that you can use instead. And the alternative prompt for the handpicked crew is cover by. Now this might sound stupid, I realize now, because my cover by is actually on my Kobo, my e-reader. The book I want to read is Ripe. I love this freaking cover, I think it's stunning, but it's too gosh damn expensive for what it is and for the size of the book. So I actually bought it to my e-reader instead for like 1/10 of the price. I still adore this cover. I don't know much about the story in itself. What has piqued my interest about this book is 100% the cover. I love the pomegranate. It will be perfect for traveling. It's a perfect cover by. I'm very excited about getting to Ripe actually. I think it's about a girl trying to break into Silicon Valley or something like that. Not break into, but like work her way into Silicon Valley and that world. For the love triangle trope, I am going with what I believe is one of the suggestions from the recommended books, because once again, the Tropical Readathon is great. They offer recommendations for all of the tropes as well. So for the love triangle trope, they suggested One Day in December. And the great thing with this book is that it's also on my 12 books recommended by 12 friends. So if I read this one, it will be like, what do you say, hitting a bird with 2 stones? No wait, hitting 2 birds with 1 stone. Might seem odd to read that in March, but honestly I don't freaking care. I suck at reading books when I'm supposed to, so why not read it in the complete wrong season and month and all of that. For mixed media, I could actually do one of my recent purchases, which is The Appeal, because this is a mystery told through mixed media. So the story is told through text messages, emails, documentation, things like that. It's not really ever like just written prose, I believe, if I remember correctly. And I'm very excited, and like I recently got it, and I feel like it's the perfect, not vacation read, because I'm not going on vacation, I'm going on conferences, but like perfect travel read, I guess. That one is definitely going with me somewhere. Honestly, with those books and the ebooks, I already have a pretty good stack. These are 5 books, and I think I mentioned 2 books on my e-reader. If you consider my other year-long challenges, I did mention the 12 books recommended by 12 friends. If I read Harry Potter, that means I'm also ticking off the prompt for Bus Readathon, which is a year-long readathon hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala, where the prompt is to read a book with a character name in its title. Obviously. I cannot guarantee that I'm gonna be reading all of these books. I feel pretty confident that I will be reading my ebooks. These one, not as much. So far this year I've only read 6 books, which is 3 books a month. It's nowhere near the speed I usually read at the start of a year. Okay, that's it for this. I don't know if I should call it a monthly reset. I feel like it was more of a monthly recap or something. Me just chatting about how busy I've been and how busy I'm going to be and not really knowing where I'm at with anything. Please feel free to share if you have anything in March that you are looking forward towards, or what your goals are, or even your TBR. Let's have a little chat in the comments if you would like. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed, despite the slight messiness, but you all know me by now, so please take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye!
You gotta just go for it. Don't think about what